life at sea. And today we brought some very special people, and they put me in a high chair today, so I feel quite tall. Okay. Hello, Gillian. There we go, very good. Now today, everyone, is all about the woman in the workplace. And these are all of our leading lady officers here on board who are joining us today. We're going to be doing a little bit of a talk about what they do on board, how they got to where they are today. And of course, afterwards we will open up to any questions that you may have. But it's all our fabulous leading ladies. So I'm going to start off at this side, on my left-hand side. We have the lovely Martina, everybody.
Hi everyone, thank you. I'm Martina from Argentina, and I'm the head of the broadcast department on board, which means everything TV related. Video screens, projectors, and I lead a team of videographers that you might have seen around, filming Cat as well on Channel 1.
Her team make me look pretty every day on the TV, and skinny. Yeah, fantastic. And then right next to Martina we have Monica.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Monica, all the way from Portugal. I'm the sports manager on board, leading a team of 20. On all the cool things on board, really. Flora, the Rocco, Pickleball, who doesn't love it? Right? So, yeah.
Fabulous, thank you very much. And Paula?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Paula. I'm from Brazil, and I'm the Learning and Development Consultant. So basically what I do is leadership trainings, coaching leadership, development plans, and so on. I'm part of the HR team.
Very good, thank you very much. Gillian.
Morning everyone, my name is Gillian, I come from Kenya and I'm the crew sales manager on board. Alright, bye!
Bye-bye.
She's a very important person, everybody. If you want to book a future cruise, this is the person you come to for all our cruises, all our itineraries, and all our amazing ships. Fabulous. Davika.
Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today?
Good morning. Woo-woo.
Awesome. We're happy to have you on board if we haven't said that a million times already. Hope you're enjoying your cruise with us.
Yes.
I'm Davika. I'm the HR manager on board. I am part of the executive committee. I am in charge of almost 1,600 crew members on our lovely ship Anthem. One of my main responsibilities is also being the ethics and compliance officer. So making sure that while our crew enjoy Anthem of the Seas as their home away from home, that we also do follow the policies and regulations of the company. In charge of the berthing of crew members, making sure they have a comfortable room to stay in charge of entertainment for them, crew activities, so that they have some fun time, they can relax and they can, enjoy socializing with each other, getting to understand different cultures that we work amongst. I come all the way from Trinidad and Tobago, the lovely Twin Isle Republic, known for steel pan, calypso, and limbo. Have anybody been to Trinidad? No? Okay, we'll get you on a ship. We'll book another cruise for you to go on a ship that's going to Trinidad. It's wonderful to be here with all of you. Thank you.
Fantastic. And for those of you who do not know what the executive committee is on board, these are the top dogs, the highest. This is together with the captain, staff captain, hotel director, chief engineer, and our HR manager. So they all take care of us. So, and we have the lovely Davika representing our ladies in that. So thank you, Davika. And then Liping.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Liping. I'm all the way come from China. I'm in charge of the Royal app. I believe everybody knows it. So basically, my work is I'm gathering all the information for all the departments on board. Then I manually input our content system. Then it will reflect on the app. That's how you see all the activities and events on the app. And also, I'm assist our my shoreside team to do the testing for the new features and report the issues on board. And that's my work. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, ladies ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please raise your hands on up nice and high. We have Shayna on this side with a microphone, and we have Sergio over here. He is walking around coming to you with the microphone. Please let us know your name, where you're from, and of course, ask your questions. And we have the lovely lady over here in red. She's very excited to ask a question.
Hi, I'm Susie from Australia, and this is for Kat, and you might be able to answer on behalf of other cruise directors. You are on show all day, every day, with a beautiful wardrobe for every presentation. And I'm thinking, I've seen the size of our wardrobe, and I'm thinking, where did the clothes come from? How do they fit? Is there a manager that looks after your costumes? Do they get changed every time the ship berths somewhere? I'm fascinated because you always look gorgeous.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So the clothes are my own clothes, and they fit just in 2 suitcases that are 23 kilograms each when they come to the ship. I was very smart this time with my packing. Normally I had one contract where I had 9 pairs of heels, and I worked it out 20 days worth of daytime clothing and 20 days worth of nighttime clothing. I didn't bring that much this time. I only have 4 pairs of heels, but it's all my own clothing. I don't get an allowance to go purchase it. It comes from my own salary, if you want to say that. I am also very lucky. Whoever was the cruise director who brought out the Anthem of the Seas 11 years ago was a very smart person, because they must have gone to IKEA and bought extra wardrobes. So there I have 2 wardrobes, a big chest of drawers, and a little shoe rack as well. So it just fits my clothes at the moment. So thank you. No, thank you very much for that. Thank you. Shayna in the front.
Hello, I'm Michelle from Australia. I've got a question for the HR lady. I wanted to find out, there's a big variety of nationalities on board. What's the breakdown of the staff with the nationalities?
We have people from almost 70 countries on board. We do have our bigger populations from Indonesia, from the Philippines, from India, but there's some of us from everywhere that you can find. So we have a good mix and match. We learn from each other every day. Yes, we do.
We have 3 actually, and they're all cast members. So 2 of them are in Spectra's Cabaret, and 1 of them is in the We Will Rock You show.
Most of the times when we do have them on board, they are indeed part of the cast. Very on and off, we have them in other positions, but we do.
Yeah, generally when it comes to, from what I've noticed, anyone from the United States, Canada, or Australia tend to be in the cast. Sometimes every now and then in different positions. Like I know United States, we do have 1 bridge officer, but generally those kind of positions are the cast members. Thank you for your question. Sergio.
Hi, my name is Kelly. I'm from Australia as well. I've just got a question because the HR manager said you run activities for the crew so they can enjoy the time when they're not working. I was just wondering what everyone's favourite activity is during that time.
Sorry, can I get the last part of the question?
I was just wondering what everyone's favourite activity to do that you run is. So if it's karaoke or something like that,
Yes.
the staff enjoys.
Yes, so we do try to have a wide variety of activities. Last night we had a bit of a party. A couple nights ago we had a wings and bear night, along with some karaoke happening there. We tend to have ping pong ball tournaments, cricket matches, different events that we have for the crew taking place based on work schedules and so on. We may have tea time bingo for those who may finish early but they want to do something in the afternoon. We have salsa learning classes. We have wine and cheese night, sipping paint sometimes. So we do a variety of activities for the crew, because we know we have different preferences, different tastes. So we try to have a little mix of everything to make sure that we keep the wellness of the mind intact.
Beer and chicken wings is always the most popular. Definitely beer and chicken wings. Back with Shayna.
Okay, top of the morning to you. My name is Mary Newland. I'm from Ireland. You may have seen my twin sister Mary from Australia. She's in Sydney, but she's my twin sister who was separated at birth. Anyway, I would like to congratulate you all on becoming the bust of your teens. I guess with the Scottish accent. I practice my Aussie accent. I would like to know each of you, your careers before sea life on the cruise ships. Was it related to what you did now? I assume so. And how did you move through the ranks to become the boss of your department, which is awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Irish, Scottish, Australian,
Marianne.
Do you want to start with Martina first?
Sure. Hi everyone again. So for me, I started in a technical high school where I learned the basic of electronics and visual arts. That was the degree I did there. And then I moved to university. I did 5 years of image and sound design, which is not exactly what I do now, but I always leaned into the technical. And that's really something to say about Royal Caribbean. When I started here as a video technician, I got a chance to learn a lot on board. Because normally what you would expect for my position would be to be a broadcasting engineer. I always wanted to be an engineer. It was a hard choice. So here I got the chance to learn all of that. Satellites, a lot of really complex audiovisual technicalities. And yeah, we usually mentor each other a lot within the teams. That happens. And as everyone, I thought I was going to get this job to travel a little bit, maybe a couple of years after university, and here I am many years after that, because Royal Caribbean did give me that chance to grow. That's one of the reasons why I'm still here. They trusted me. I've been a supervisor since I was 25 years old, and I manage a lot of people that are older than me, that have more experience, but we all have different skills. Yeah. And the fact that the company gave me that trust is what made me stay here. It really allowed me to grow. So I really appreciate that.
Can I just how long have each of you been on ships?
I've been 8 years on ships already.
And Royal, all for Royal?
Royal, okay. Yeah. First job, and I stayed.
Loyal to Royal.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Monica? Since a very young age, I've been enjoying outdoor activities. I was one of these little scouts person that camps from the age of 5 for 15 years. I was involved in so many outdoor activities. So when I went to university, I did outdoor activities and hospitality degree. After that, I moved to England and I joined a company in outdoor summer camps, families and schools. And from there, I moved to ships. My uncle used to work on ships, so I grew up watching the itinerary. There was no WhatsApp or anything like that, so once a week he used to call home, and we run to the fridge to check in which port it is. So ships was always on the back of my mind. So after a few years in England, I saw on Facebook the recruiting for Royal Caribbean sports staff. And there I went. I applied 3 months later. I was on board the Empress of the Seas 10 years ago. And from there has been a lovely journey. 6 years as a sports staff, 2 years as a sports supervisor, and I'm on my 3rd year as a sports manager. So it's been a long journey.
Can I just... Thanks, Monica. Thanks, Monica, for the advanced schedule. Like half the day is advanced. And then we take over half the mix. So thank you. Muchly.
Fabulous, thank you. Paula?
Well, I actually studied business psychology, business pedagogy. My first degree was in social communication, and then I moved more into psychology. And I have an MBA in HR management. But when I started with the company 14 years ago, In Brazil, when the ships used to go to Brazil, I actually do Brazilian seafood. They used to hire a lot of Brazilians, but not necessarily to work with what you had studied. They will hire you for whatever you needed. And you couldn't actually choose. So I started in the company as shopping in retail, as a sales associate. Had never sold anything in my life before, but it was a very interesting process. Loved sales, got really into sales because, you know, sales and psychology go hand in hand. And then my next move was actually to Next Cruise. So I was a cruise sales associate, cruise sales assistant manager, cruise sales manager. And then eventually I moved into learning and development. But that's how I progressed in the company. But yeah, it was always my passion, developing teams and working with them and giving people the opportunity to see different paths towards their work and how to move up and how to be better leaders and how to better themselves. And all the opportunities that the company have, for me, it's just the highlight.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I've been with the company almost 10 years now. I started with Royal Caribbean. It's the only cruise line that I have worked for. Started as a cruise staff, and it's because I had an entertainment background. For those of you who came to the Life at Sea with the hotel director as well as myself, I have dancing background. I used to be a dancer back in the days. Now I can't touch my toes. But yeah, I studied that, wanted to keep the entertainment side, so cruise staff, and I worked my way up. So cruise staff to activities manager to then cruise director, and I've been cruise director now for about 4 years. So very blessed about that.
Hi, after high school, I did a diploma in law, and then I lived in Germany for a while, so I speak German. And then I worked in Dubai for 6 years. I used to work for a company called Apparel. I used to sell Kenneth Cole shoes, Aldo footwear, and then I left for Dolce & Gabbana. So my last company was Dolce & Gabbana, and I started with Avenue in Dubai Mall of Emirates, so I know Middle East a little bit well. And then I really wanted to do a little bit of sightseeing in other countries. I really wanted to become a pilot. That was my main dream. So I went to Dubai. My main aim was to get into cabin crew, so I can be able to save money and do piloting through Emirates. But they said I'm half an inch short, my fingers are a little bit short, so I cannot reach the line in the interview. So I failed 6 times interview. And my friends told me, you really want to go, like, see the world? I said, yeah. They said about cruising. I'd never cruised before in my entire life. And I went back to Kenya, I quit my job. I went back in Kenya, and I later on joined Royal Caribbean. I've been in the company since December of 2013. I like my job so far. I did guest services, 1 contract. Wasn't easy, but it was a challenge, but it made me who I am today. So I can perceive through the storms, ups and downs in life, and I'm grateful for where I am right now. It's a beautiful company, an amazing company. I will not change anything in my life working for them. Thank you.
Beautiful. Everything happens for a reason. You're meant to be on cruise ships and not in the air. Thank you. Davika.
So I have over 30 years in customer service delivery. I started off my working career in the bank, actually, where I learned to function in a highly confidential but disciplined environment, counting money, of course, so that's where the love of making money came from. I said it wasn't mine, but I need to earn some. So I moved to Royal Caribbean towards the end of 2007. So I'm almost 19 years here at Royal Caribbean. I started off in guest services. I did actually 17 years in guest services. I used to be the guest services manager. But I saw our company growing in leaps and bounds, and I felt that our company is growing, so our crew members deserve supportive, encouraging managers. And that's why I decided to move across into HR. I do have a bachelor's degree with 3 majors, finance, marketing, and HR.
Yes.
I also have a master's degree from the University of Leicester, UK, where I have done business administration and likewise focusing in marketing. Strange that I'm in HR, but I believe in holistic management. I believe to be a good strategist, you must be well-rounded, you must be knowledgeable, And marketing involves convincing people. So at the end of the day, I'm working with people, but convincing crew members to follow the policies and procedures. So that's a little bit about my career, how I ended up on ships. That little show called The Love Boat when I was a tiny kid stood in the back of my mind, and I think it came to pass. So that's why I'm here.
Okay, so we all have our own stories. So for me, before I joined Royal, after my university, I was working in a foreign trade company as a salesperson. So after 3 years, I decided to resign. So after I resigned, I went back to my hometown. So by accidentally, I joined a company who is like an agent who is hiring crew members for the cargo ship and cruise ship. So that's how I get to know we have the cruise ships. Before I don't even know we have cruise ships in the world. So in the end, I end up with giving myself to Royal. Yeah, that's how But so far, I already work with Royal already 12 years. Yeah, 12 years.
Okay. What did you start as in Royal? What did you start as Royal?
Anybody want to guess? It's in 2014. So
Windjammer.
Close. Already close.
They're MDR.
Washi.
Okay, so I was hired as a room service attendant. Yeah, my first contract. Yes.
I can look at that.
Fabulous. And now you're the digital manager. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Great question. We have one with Sergio. Fabulous. He's coming to you.
Hello, I'm Brian from Michigan, and I know we did a vaccine tour the other day, I think yesterday, and I believe there's one bridge officer that's also a woman on board the ship. And I was just curious how many other women are on board the ship that are in management positions. What's the total and maybe what divisions they're in, if you could comment on that.
Oh, there's a lot. This is just a small handful of some of the ladies. We do have Julia. She's the bridge officer. She is our first officer of navigation up on the bridge. I think there's also a lady in the engine department, from what the engineers told me. You've got spa manager on board, deputy, our deputy security officer. She's also female. There's a lot. I'm sitting here, I'm put under pressure, I can't think, but yes, there's many. So
There's still
thank you
majority.
very much. We gotta get with Sergio, lovely.
Dana from Australia. This is for the HR manager. I just want to know, with all the different, cultures and religions behind the scenes with the crew, what is the conflict resolution like? Have you had any issues? How do you manage that?
So once we join on board, we do have a cultural awareness training course that we all must take. It is mandatory to create awareness, help us understand our biases and how to overcome them. We do not have a whole lot of issues, but we do have people who are very proud of their food and what they like, how it should taste. Sometimes the little words in our own nationality that might be slang words or popular, and they may have different meanings to someone else. That's the main conflict that I may have. But I tend to bring the two crew members together. We explain what it means in each of our minds, and then we come to a better understanding of why we should or shouldn't use them.
It's actually pretty amazing having so many different nationalities and nations on the ship as crew members and how well we do work together. I always say it's like a mini United Nations, but a functioning mini United Nations. It's incredible.
It is indeed, yes.
If I can add a little comment from the female perspective on that. We come from a lot of different countries where I think they're in a different place in maybe their understanding of gender roles. So that's something that comes up a lot for me at work. And yes, there might be not a major encounter that goes all the way to HR, but it's just daily dynamics that sometimes require us to have patience, understanding, and just sometimes having conversations amongst us in a respectful way, sometimes understanding where certain comments come from. And yeah, it's pretty interesting because what you might expect as normal or understood in your country might not be the same thing in another country. So a lot of dialogue.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that. Shayna?
Hi, my name's Peter from Adelaide. Just to the application manager, my wife's upset today. On your application it says there was a inch of gold sale today at 11 o'clock. My wife was very keen and went down there to buy lots of gold chain. And the guy that was selling it said, no, it's $5 an inch. And I said, well, it's advertised for $1 an inch. And he said, and this is my question, that is put on the app for all the ships, but it doesn't apply to this one. So I just wondered, to me that's false advertising. So I want to know, why is it on the app today when it doesn't apply? Thank you.
Sir, thank you for your question. I'm sorry for the inconvenience first. But this information, I need to check with the retail manager for the detailed information, because for me, I'm just gathering the information from them. So they should know, like, they should put the correct information, like everything. They should check what is written on the app. Because
there's a lot of problems with the app.
The information collector somehow. So let me get back to you if you don't mind. Yeah. I'll get back to you.
No,
yeah, when it does come to the app, everything that Limping puts on is just information that is given to her. So it's not necessarily she just takes something and puts it in the app. So it's the same with our programming. So I'll put together a program, we'll put it on the compass, and then she takes whatever's on the compass and then puts that into the app. Sometimes I can speak for like entertainment. Things do change. Entertainment, you know, we've had to change shows or headliners, something happens, and that's why we do refer to the app sometimes, because the paper compass you can't change, but you can change the app. But there are certain things she's limited to, of what she sees is what she then
No, we've had problems with the flow rider types.
So thank you very much for that. Sergio on the left.
I have my nanny from Dubai, and she's been in a difficult situation recently, and I'm trying to encourage her to join the cruise ships. And my question is, generally, I think she's just a bit nervous because she's coming from a situation where she hasn't been treated well. And I just said to her, it's better, I think she'll be treated better on the cruise ships. So my question was to the HR person that manages all that. You know, as to like, are there certain standards in place?
Oh, definitely. We all sign contracts when we come on, and in the first paragraph, it does talk about respect. So we are all obligated to act in a respectful manner. We do have policies and procedures. And as we said, we do operate like a massive United Nations on board. So for anyone who's thinking about applying, they can go directly to our website. We do have the positions and the requirements there, but we are very mindful that we all come from different nationalities, and we need to be sensitive to each other, respectful to each other, and for the most part, we learn so much from each other and the cultural differences that we have. So by the time we go home, the stories to our families are all about our colleagues and what we learned and what we shared together. And I think all of us can testify to that.
No, 100%, 100%. So thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Good morning. Apologies for it.
Who gave him a microphone?
Top of the morning, Sia.
I was doing research on the question about inch of gold, so I have an answer for you. Don't be upset. So the inch of gold varies depending on the chain, the style. So it's from $1 for a particular piece, but the other pieces can go up to 3, 4, 5, depending on the thickness and depending on the style of it. So it is actually correct that it's from $1, but it's only one particular piece. I'll take you down there. I'll sort it later on. Don't worry. Yeah, I'll take you down there.
Fabulous. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, our hotel director, Keith.
Morning. I came to see all my girls in action.
Fantastic. Thank you for the support. We have Shayna in the front.
I'm Pam from California. I have a question for anybody that wants to answer. I'm curious how difficult it is to have a partner, have a family, and be working on a ship, because I know that you guys work so hard every single day. So whoever wants to answer that.
Thank you very much. I mean, it depends on your position. A lot of us in management, we have our own cabins. So we can, say for instance, if your partner or your family's back home, you can sign them to come and cruise with you, so they have the opportunity to spend time with you. Our contracts, or at least my contract, is about 4 months on the ship and then 2 months vacation. So it's 4 months of hard work, but then you have 2 months where you can dedicate yourself to your friends, your family. Personally, I'm not married, or have any children, so I'm a lot freer. So for me, my vacations are spent on, believe it or not, traveling. I know.
Yeah, just to add to that, ship life is very intense. You're either for a long time away from people or for a very long time with people in very close quarters. So that also requires a lot of communication and emotional management of all kinds. Our scheduling team does help us if we register with a partner. They do help us try and align contracts together. So there is really ways of having a relationship, a long-term relationship on board and working with that person. And then I don't know about maybe mothers, if anybody has something to say about that, maybe from HR. I know a lot of mothers, that must be quite difficult in the beginning. But we do have, I think, a period of a whole year that we can be on land and still come back for a contract.
It's almost 2 years and we can come back. So, as being mentioned, we do have a couple registry program if people are legally married or legally living together. And we do try our very best to see where possible to keep them alive so that we keep, that bond going. It's important for us to ensure, that we do have wellness for our crew members in whatever form. And if not, for methods for them to reach their families, stay in contact. We have WhatsApp texting available to our crew members, internet availability and so on, that they can stay in touch with loved ones and keep their relationship going, because that's important.
Thank you very much for your question. Really appreciate that. Sergio on the right-hand side.
Good morning, ladies. Very good job done by all. I'd just like to know, is it part of the requirement for the employment that everybody speaks English?
It is indeed. It is the required language to be spoken on board.
Fabulous. Thank you very much. Up on deck number 6.
Hi guys, Al from Brisbane, Australia. It's a bit of a general question, but I thought I'd pose it to you guys. Have you ever experienced a passenger have a berth or even staff on the ship? And the other thing I'm really interested in is, what does that mean from a nationality perspective when you're in international work?
Ooh!
Good question. Very good question.
Oh!
Keith knows this one. Personally, I have not. I have not experienced any crew member or otherwise guest on board who is given birth. But I'm sure we can be enlightened by this.
I'm sorry, I have a very deep attraction to the microphone. I really like it.
So if we have had guests who are born or babies born at sea, typically we try to avoid it at all costs because usually when they are born they're premature and it presents a danger to them. So we have a limit on the pregnancy. I think it's 23 weeks. So if you're past 23 weeks, you can't sail. The couple of cases that I am aware of, one of them was born so premature that it was the size. So the doctor, through a specialist on land, and they use video conferencing, managed to keep the baby alive until we got into port. What happens with nationality is like anything else. No matter where you're born, whatever country you're actually from is your nationality. You do not get free cruises just because you're born aboard. So yeah, that's what happens. So the nationality diverts back, and there's one, I think, we do usually give kind of one free cruise to the family after the kid is born when they're older. But yeah, that's it, essentially the answer. So.
Fabulous. Thank you very much for that. Thank you, Keith. I would have had to Dr. Google it in order to find the answer. Very good. Up in the front with Shayna.
Hi, I just want to know, if it's not too personal, your countries that you came from, for a lady to say, I'm going to work on a cruise ship, was that deemed as strange or bizarre?
Very good question. I think when I started working on cruise ships, not necessarily ladies working on cruise ships, but it was very unheard of for South Africans to work on cruise ships. There was a couple, of course, working for cruise ships, but at that time it was mostly, when I joined the cruise ship 10 years ago, it was in the third party kind of companies. So it was Steiner, the spa, the shops, the casino, and Park West, the art gallery. So to be in at least my position as a South African was very much unheard of, to be in entertainment. So that was new. I don't know about the rest.
So when I joined back in 2007, I was interviewed by a third party, and I was actually interviewed for the learning and development position at that time, the learning and development manager, training and development. And just as I was about to join, a couple of days before, I got a call saying, oh my goodness, we did make an error. You are from Trinidad and Tobago, which is considered a third world country. So we don't hire managers. So you will need to start in a different position. That has since changed, and throughout for all our countries, that is no longer a stipulation. So our company has evolved, policies have evolved. So yes, different times.
Times have changed for the good.
For me, in Brazil, it was very common at the time. Royal Caribbean used to have 2 ships in Brazil, other companies had ships in Brazil. And we do have this law that if the ships are sailing from Brazil, 30% of the crew has to be Brazilian. Also, to make it more comfortable for the Brazilian guests, they would prefer to hire people who spoke Portuguese, so a lot of Brazilians were coming to ships at the time. For me, it was very interesting because I'm from the countryside. I live in the middle of the state of São Paulo, so I had never even seen a cruise ship before I came. So where I'm from and the people who knew me and my poor mother, who was so upset that I had all these degrees and I was coming to work on ships as a salesperson, that was kind of strange, but not because of my nationality.
Yeah, for me, like I said, I'm from Portugal, but I think it's a lack of awareness how to apply for cruise ships. There is not really against working on cruise ships or not being used to work on cruise ships, is more the lack of awareness how to apply for the job. Most Portuguese that I know that work on board, they have applied through England, for example. So as far as I'm aware, there's only one agency in Portugal hiring for cruise ships.
Yeah, in Argentina it's similar. I don't think a lot of people know about this career
I live very near the port in Buenos Aires, and I had never cruised before. It never crossed my mind either. So that was the first time also I stepped on a ship. I think it happens in certain nationalities. There's like a position that is very popular, like for Argentinians, it's a lot of musicians, a lot of photographers, sometimes videographers, maybe because it's something popular that is done in that country. So maybe people get to find out about it through people that do the same thing, so you keep getting more of that position. We do have hiring agencies, but also in Argentina they hire a few positions. You can then apply to Royal Caribbean directly for any position. But regarding specifically being a woman coming to work on ships in Argentina, was never like a topic. Everyone was very amazed by it and curious, and they ask a lot of questions. But Argentina, it's a country that is doing very well with equality in Latin America and in the world. So I come from a place where those thoughts don't really cross our minds, luckily. So pretty good.
Fabulous, thank you very much. We'd have time, unfortunately, for our last two questions. So we're going to start with Sergio.
Hi, my name is Debbie from Sydney. I previously worked in a company that was really heavily regulated with compliance. So my question is, what, with compliance and regulations, what country do you fall under? Is it United States? Because this is a United States company, or for instance, when you get paid, how you get paid, how you train, all of those regulations.
So we are registered by Nassau, Bahamas, but and our company in terms of payments, we are now with the branch in England, but we do have policies that come from our main office in Miami that are set the standards that we do follow. We are guided by MLC law, Maritime Labour Convention law, so that's what we follow.
Fabulous. Thank you very much. And our last and final question in the centre.
Hi, it's Peter again from Adelaide. I just wondered, because you're on the ship months at a time, do you get 1 or 2 days off a week, or does it vary by position? I would imagine somebody like Kat would be 7 days a week. And if you do have time off, who does your job?
So pretty much everybody on the ship, we work 7 days a week. There are a few positions on the ship where kind of you can work time off, which that time off can regulate to what would be a day off. But in my position, it is very much 7 days a week. I'm on call 24/7. So, because if they ever need me, I am the top of the position, so they contact me for whatever they need. I do get time off as well, so pretty much my schedule, the way it works is the sense of when you guys are off the ship, I get some free time. So port days are a little bit easier for me, which means if I can get my paperwork done and meetings and all that kind of done, then I have an opportunity to also go out in the ports and enjoy it. Sea days are very much full on because there's a lot of entertainment, there's a lot of activities. It's not just hosting it, there's meetings I have to attend, there's paperwork I have to do, and it's also walking around and it's maintaining, making sure the activities are according to what they should be, they're starting on time, all those kind of things. So it's very much heavy on, and that's why the schedules are generally about 4 months on, because it is very intense, and then you get that 2 months to kind of... The first week is just sleep. I'm going to tell you that. My first week home is just sleeping, pretty much.
What about somebody like room attendants? Because are they going 7 days a week as well?
Room attendants, pretty much, yeah.
Yes.
Everybody is
Yes.
7 days a week. I mean, we were talking about maritime labour conventions and the laws. Everyone on the ship, all the crew members, we have kind of set working hours. There's a certain amount of time that we are not allowed to go over in working hours. So it's not, back in the day, I mean, I wasn't here, but I heard the stories of you could work 16-hour days and there was nothing to protect you. 20-hour days, you just had to do the work. Whereas now, there's only a certain amount of time that you are allowed to work. You have to have resting periods. Everybody on the ship, crew member all the way from the gentleman who washes the pot to the captain, hotel director, myself, we do have to get our breaks in, and it is set by the MLC and the Labour ILO convention, all those kind of things.
So crew members on board must have a minimum of 10 hours rest in every 24-hour period. So we do have our rest time, and you can choose what you want to do. If you want to take the break, if we are in port, and go outside, or you want to do some laundry, or you want to do a crew activity, or you just want to nap. It's all up to you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for your question, and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming on down to our last edition of Life at Sea. Please put your hands together for all of our fabulous ladies here today. Of course, we have Martina, Monica, Paula, we do have Gillian, Devika, and Len. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you around the ship till then. Bye-bye for now.
Bye. Oh, that was really good. Monica, you're the best. Well, I come to this. I have my priorities. Now we're going to do the dodgeball versus officers. So, I'm very tired. I'm very sore. So I don't have to do flow rider all day. The line's too long, No, but there's a lot of blue beds. I teach a lot of people to get blue beds. That's why the other guys hate me. But let them enjoy it as well. It's the last days. But it's fun. But it's like sharing is caring. It's not a skin off my back. That's the other friends. Oh my God. Where did my friends go? Oh, there's captains.